I believe that education is very important.
Right.
You should always be a learner and wanting to be a student for life. You don't always know everything. Even myself, being in the industry for 7 years, I learned something new every single day.
You own a business in the city? Come to the Wave Show. Small time or Big Willie? Come to the Wave Show. You got a message for the people? Come to the Wave Show. You could be black, white, red, blue. Come to the Wave Show. It's all love, we wanna meet you. Come to the Wave Show. Come to the Wave Show. Come to the Wave Show.
Hello viewers, my name is Jamal Smith and I want to welcome you guys back to the Wave Show. For our new viewers, thank you guys for tuning in. Today we're going to have a really good conversation. We got two pretty cool new guests coming out that's going to be talking to us and teaching us a lot about the mortgage industry. So what I'd like to do is we're going to introduce them. First we have Tasheka, right? And secondly we have Mark. Just an open conversation. So you guys are in the mortgage industry, right? What's the name of the company that you guys are working with right now?
Well, our company is called MOR Mortgage Inc. It's mortgage, options, and realty. So we provide a selective amount of mortgage options for our clients. We also have realtors that are connected through our contact base and actually within our brokerage as well to assist clients.
Okay, so you've been going to the brokerage now. Mark, I got to ask you, what's a mortgage broker?
Mortgage broker it's a specialist, right?
Yeah.
So the analogy I like to use is, if it's something wrong with your back, you wouldn't go to the clinic, you'd go to a back specialist,
Makes
right?
sense.
So same thing with the mortgage. We're specialists. We do mortgages. That's what we specialize in. A lot of people, sometimes they will go to their banks first, which they can, for a mortgage. They'll kind of give you the cookie cutter rate, and the person there is maybe not equipped to handle a mortgage situation, but they'll give you basic general advice, where we're able to kind of give you more detailed approach, find out angles, try to get things done in an efficient manner. We get paid commission, they get paid salary. Who do you think's going to want to do it?
Come on.
The commission guy, right? So that's kind of, in a nutshell, what a mortgage broker is.
What was it like getting in the industry of the mortgage business?
Well, to be honest, at first, it was a little scary because I've always been working for someone else, and to jump into an entrepreneur position, I actually had to take a leap of faith. I've always been working typical 9-to-5 part-time jobs, and then now going full-out commission-based income. It was really hard at first. So, yeah, it was a challenge, but just stuck through it, and I was hungry, so that was my drive to keep going.
Okay, and Mark, for yourself, how did you get into the industry? What was it like?
I got in the industry through a friend. He kind of put me on, and then I got to learn the business really well. I've been in the business for about 10 years now, and haven't looked back. I just keep my head down, work hard, and it's a great business to be in.
Okay, awesome. So I understand, Mark, that you've been in it for 10 years.
Correct, 10
and
years.
Tasheka 7.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, so there's a 3-year. Do you think the 3-year difference in experience makes a difference, or do you think it's just you go with the flow and you pick up as much as you can?
I would say the years are not really important. It's about the experience and what you put out, because what you put out is what you'll get back, right? A lot of people can be in the industry for 10 years and maybe only service one client a year.
Sure,
so for you to say that you've been seasoned in the business for years doesn't necessarily mean you've had the actual hands-on experience that's required. So again, it just comes down to what you put out, you get back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Mark, here's what I want to ask you. Over the 10 years of being in the industry, what's one thing that you've learned that the new person coming in that you would love to tell them and teach them and talk to them about?
I would tell them that work ethic is everything. I think,
Interesting.
Like anything in life, I think if you put in the work and you are open to learn, good things will happen. I think if you think that, just being an entrepreneur is just about saying, you're the CEO of a company, it doesn't really mean nothing if the bills aren't paid, right?
Yeah,
so
100%.
so I think the work ethic and is key, and keep beating on your craft every day, whatever it is, whether it's a mortgage broker, a real estate agent, financial plan or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Okay. That's actually really good feedback, right? Tasheka, what I want to ask you also is, based on the mortgage industry now, where would you say it is compared to where it was, and where do you actually see it going?
Oh, wow, that's a really good question. Where I see it going, it's a very hands-on type of industry.
Yeah.
Like I said before, if you're not putting out anything, you're not going to get back results. And I believe that education is very important.
Right.
You should always be a learner and wanting to be a student for life. You don't always know everything. Even myself, being in the industry for 7 years, I learn something new every single day. And the more that I educate myself, learn from people like Mark, my business partner, and just putting myself out there more to want to learn about the industry itself on a whole, it really helps me to mentor, coach our agents, new clients that come in. I'm big on educating my clients so they know what products they're getting themselves into, and also allowing them to build wealth for years to come.
That's
So
huge.
definitely it's a game changer. From the beginning of when I started,
Yeah.
I didn't really know that. I just thought, okay, listening to somebody that maybe had more years experience than myself. But then when I actually took the time to educate myself and learn on my own, that's when the entrepreneur hat came in, right? It wasn't just going to school and listening to your teacher. It's now becoming the teacher and listening to what you've learned on your own in addition to what your teachers taught you.
That's huge.
So yeah, it was a big game changer for me.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Great answer. So what I want to ask you guys next is, one thing that we talk a lot about on the show is the team atmosphere, working with the team and how beneficial it is, right? So for you guys, how did you guys come together to be a team, and what's the focus for you guys going forward?
Yeah, how we met together. We actually connected through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I think at the time I had gone independent. I had opened a brokerage, and I was looking for like-minded people to kind of join. I reached out to several people on LinkedIn, and Tasheka messaged me back. We set up a time to meet, and we just kind of kicked it off right at the beginning.
Nice.
She has a lot of the same qualities as I do. Very ethical, and look at her as almost like a sister, because we've built this relationship over the years. But how we've talked about it, and from when we started 5-6 years ago to where it is now, we have 22 agents.
Nice.
And Tasheka and myself, have done this together in unison. So I think. Sorry to go off on a tangent, but it's worked out really well, and that's how we connected, and that's how we built it to a pretty good size right now. So really happy.
So you guys said 22 agents. That doesn't happen overnight.
When we started, it was like what? I was
3.
new. It was like I
So
was maybe the third person that came in to the brokerage when Mark started off on his own, and then we built a partnership after that.
That's actually a really big deal.
Big change.
What I want to tap into now is, you guys said 21 agents, or 22 or 20?
22.
22 agents. So what's it like, that work ethic you talked about, grinding it out to get to that 22 agents, and potentially, to grow it to a lot more?
I would say for us, word of mouth a lot, because we connect with a lot of our lenders, a lot of our clients, so we get a lot of referrals of people that want to work with us and want to team up with us. We're big on being accessible 24/7. If Mark's on vacation or myself, I could be in Vegas, I'm still accessible to my agents so that they know that if any support that they need, we're here for them. Right? We want them to also build as entrepreneurs and build up their book of business as well. Right? We don't predicate our brokerage off of making money off people. We really want to support and see them do well, because if they do well, we do well, right? And it looks good, and it actually shows, because starting from 4 agents to now 22 and still growing. So we've been very blessed that way. So
that's good. And now it's a chance for you guys to give back to your community. Right?
Yes.
And that part, I feel like, would probably be the most priceless part, right? Being able to connect with the family across the table. And, buying a house is a very emotional process.
Oh, tell me about it.
Don't say the wrong thing, right?
So,
Tell me about it.
So what would you tell the new person who says, I've always thought about getting into the mortgage industry?
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell that new person coming in, that step-by-step process of what it's like to, get the license and do the legwork to become an agent?
I can chime in. So you have to, yes, you have to get your license. It's you can do it in a couple weeks. You can do it in a month. You can do it in several months. There's a lot of programs out there that offer it. Once you get your license, then the idea is you find a brokerage that you want to join. Each brokerage is different. Each brokerage has its advantages and disadvantages,
100%.
different commission splits. It is a lot of self-motivation. It is a lot of it's an entrepreneur. You're your own business. You have to, get business. So if I was given any advice, I'd say, get your license, look out for a brokerage that connects with you, and then go for it and realize that whatever work that you put forward is what you'll get out of it. So
that's huge.
Yeah.
And another thing that I want to tap into for the new person, right? I guess I'll ask Tasheka, what's it like adding the social media component? Because before it was just, you got to market yourself, you got to get out there. Now you can tap into a portal that, now a lot more people can see you.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like going through that?
I think it's challenging, especially if you're not very tech savvy.
Yeah.
And you just have to put yourself out there a little bit more. Test the waters, like maybe do a couple videos, maybe do some surveys and ask questions with your followers, would you like to see more of this or would you like to see more of that? And maybe just connect with other people because in a way, everyone has their own contact base, right?
Yeah.
You connect with one, you're connecting with another 5.
True.
So it's like if you look at it like that, you want to just put your best foot forward and just be authentic. Be yourself. Like, don't try to be anyone else. And I think just the transparency of you being yourself, you'll build that trust, and then eventually it'll grow from there.
That's huge.
Yeah.
See, that's good feedback, right?
Yeah.
And these are the things, right? Because these are the small things that you have to know in order to get into business in general, right? So that's even another question I want to ask is, and I'll ask both of you guys. I guess I'll ask Mark to go first, and then Tasheka, you can answer after. Where did the entrepreneur spirit come from? Right? What was that starting moment that said, okay, business is what I'm going to go into? And even just like, because sometimes you have those unconscious moments where you're doing things and it's like you don't know why you're doing it, and when you look back, it's like it was like prepping me to get into this industry, right? What was that preparation process like, and then the defining moment to say I'm going into business?
I think it comes from my parents. I think whatever I did, I tried to be the best at or do it at a high level. Yeah. Whether it was a mortgage broker or a garbage man, I was gonna be a great garbage man. You know what I mean? So
how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Absolutely. So I think that's kind of the attitude I've taken into mortgage brokering too. I like I said, I'm always accessible. I'm working 24/7. There's no weekends.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur in this business, if you want to be in the business for 10 years and have 20 agents, and
it's funny. I was listening to something today, and it was saying about 9 to 5s. People think what, I want to work a 9 to 5 and that's it. And they think if I go into business, I have more freedom for myself. Yes, you don't have a boss where you have to answer to, but now you can say, okay, instead of maybe working 8 hours, you might have to work 12, 16, right? You got to put in the extra effort. It's almost like a baby, right? You're not going to just leave without crying. You got to go attend.
Absolutely.
Right? 100%.
Absolutely.
So, and now for you, how would you answer that question?
I would agree with Mark. My parents loved them to death, and honestly, their work ethic was just what I grew up seeing. Grinding, always getting up, always putting food on the table, no matter what, making sure that we were good. And no matter what circumstances came across, there was always love, So just really putting that foot forward and just knowing that hard work does pay off. And that's the key, You're not going to have it turn up for you overnight. You have to put in the work. It's like growing a tree or a plant, right? You got to water the seed and watch it grow, right? So
100%.
worth ethic is key, and I think just keep pushing. You know, if you're hungry and fired up enough, it'll come. You know,
Right.
working the standard 9 to 5, we see it now with all the things that are going on. It's not your average anymore. You know, you can have a job today and not have one tomorrow.
Yeah.
So then, what are you gonna do? You gotta get up, hustle, grind, make a plan, and get out there, right? Because you gotta provide for your family if you have one.
No, 100%. I find like the 9 to 5 idea is shrinking. More people want to get into entrepreneurship
Absolutely.
just to get the freedom, right? The money, whatever, right? It'll come, it'll go. But the freedom to say, okay, my son has to go here, or you know, there's an emergency, I have to deal with this. Just to have that availability, I mean, probably one of the most priceless things, right? Because how many times do we see people go when it's too late?
Yeah.
Right? And making the time for it is necessary. So even going back to the team aspect, right? What are some fundamentals, right? Because now we have different, because you have the front office, right? You got the field work. Like, how does it work balancing the two in terms of, you know, skill set around the office, or just filling in a position such as filing paperwork or reaching out to client? Who juggles what? Who handles which side? How would you guys? And I guess I'll get to Tasheka to go first.
Well, in our brokerage, we work as a team.
Yeah.
We're very close in that way. We also have our operating manager who handles a lot of things as well.
Okay, you have that's smart.
Yeah,
Okay,
so he's
hire an operating manager.
yeah, our operating manager. He's awesome as well. So we all work as a team. We all are in communication with each other, even with what's going on now. We have monthly Zoom meetings with our team to just check up on everybody, keep them up to date and posted of what's going on around.
Keep them updated.
Yes. So for myself, I guess I handle. What would you say?
I say she handles the anything bills wise and everything. Anything I don't want to handle,
Writing the
pass it up.
checks.
Writing checks, you know. But no, I think you know, the great thing about our team is we always fill in the blanks. So
Yeah.
you know, there's times where Tasheka's busy, I might have to step in, and vice versa. And we're always here to help our agents, but we're always you know, help each other too, right? And like I said, we have an operating manager, Mike. He helps with some of the agents as well. So collectively, it's a three-headed monster that we kind of, you know, use together to run it efficiently. So that
because that was my next question. It's like, what's the team aspect like? Do you need like a lawyer? Do you need a real estate person? Like, what other teammates do you need outside of the mortgage industry?
Yeah, we have several lawyers we deal with in the GTA. We have several real estate agents. We actually have a couple realtors on our team. We have insurance agents. We kind of have the whole aspect of the mortgage scenario all covered under kind of one roof, right?
Nice. So
it's only a phone call away. If you need an insurance policy, we can have it in 15 minutes. You need a lawyer, we can get on the phone. It's done. You need a realtor, you can have one call you in 15 minutes. So we've kind of created this circle of trusted advisors that help. Yeah. So.
And that's a key component, right? Because the team, it just changes everything. I was reading a book, it's Think and Grow Rich.
I have that one in my office too. Yes.
Great book. Yeah.
Right, we're going to talk about books in a
Really
second.
good.
When we look at books like Think and Grow Rich, right? It talks into like when you create a team, and it's something even the Bible says, right? Where you have, say, 2 or 3 people that are working, we'll say 3 people to keep it simple, that are working together. Yeah. There's almost like another entity is created, right? It's like a mind of its own that, like you said, fills in those gray areas. Yeah. Right? So that's why I love to talk about the team part of it on this show, because people think you can do it by yourself.
No.
Please, what would it look like in the mortgage industry? Try to do it by yourself. Right?
Wow.
Chicken with his head cut off, right? The guy who's spinning several plates, it's impossible, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Because one thing that we like to talk about on this show is the Toronto unity, right? The community aspect. Everybody can pretty much go out there and get it for yourself. Yeah. Right? The pool is wide open. Absolutely. It's just a matter of you going there for what you want. So here's what I want to ask you guys next, and I guess I'll ask Tasheka. You know, what opportunity right now is huge for someone who wants to become a mortgage agent?
Oh, that's a really good question. Well, actually, right now we have a renewal period coming up. So anyone looking into becoming a mortgage agent, they could look into contacting us, www.mormortgage.com, and they can get in touch with myself or Mark and give us an opportunity to meet with them, interview with them, and get them in. Renewal period's the end of March, so it's best to get in earlier than later.
Nice. People, and that's a good thing to know, right?
Yes.
Even so how can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Mortgage Boss Tasheka. I'm there. You can check me out and connect with them. And just our website as well. Yeah.
All right, so that's awesome. Okay, so Mark, here's what I want to ask you. What are some hardships in becoming a mortgage agent?
Some hardships are, I would say, you have to work really hard. I think when, I first started, I had 2-3 jobs. I was doing this on the side, and I had to persevere through. I think as an agent, you might have to do 1 or 2 things just to pay the bills, but if you can kind of set up your life and keep working hard and pushing forward and eventually make it a full-time gig, I think that's what you have to do. So it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. So I think just continue to work hard and push through. Yeah. So.
Okay, and even just to help people out, like, what's the motivation behind it? How can someone keep themselves motivated? In the mortgage industry.
I think there's a few things that can keep you motivated. One is the fact that you're an entrepreneur and time is freed up. I think 2, the money's great. The money's great. And I think 3, to provide for your family and your kids. And I think those are the main 3 things. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into the Wave Show. And we at the Wave Show, we want to thank Mark and Tasheka for coming out, dropping some jewels, sharing some nuggets. I hope you guys took a lot of notes. So if people want more information, Tasheka and Mark, where can they find you guys?
They can find us at www.mormortgage.com. I'm also on IG, Mortgage Boss Tasheka.
Nice. Okay, so you heard it here live. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom. And remember, stay wavy.
Come to the Wave Show. Come to the Wave Show.